Good afternoon, everybody. Just wanted a little quick update. If you see here, uh, this guy's up there talking at the U.S. Senate general speeches, and it's about the sanctions against Russia. What what a comedy central this is. I'll get back with you a little later.
To
At the same
repatriate.
time, he's
And it's
over there
not true that
talking.
Hamas is not failed. Hamas has done quite
They're
an
over here
actually
talking
admirable
about
job
Hamas.
in Gaza,
Just a
considering all the
moment.
situations. I was all the conditions. I was in Gaza, and I saw that, and I spoke to many people there. But that's really not the point, because Hamas is not the point. The point is the brutality, like you said, Peter.
As I was mentioning, they're over there talking. He's talking about what he's supposedly doing, which is a joke, bald faced lie. Actually, it's what one of the commentators said earlier today. As I just repeat his words. So I'll report back to y'all on this a little later on. But listen to these guys.
Inside Israel, Israeli citizens look like refugee camps because Israel treats them with contempt and does not allow them to grow, does not allow them to build. The question here is, and as we've seen, there is Palestinian unity, as we saw over the last few weeks. The protests were not only in the West Bank and in Gaza. There were protests in the north, there were protests in the south and other places, certainly around Jerusalem. The issue is the world has got to intervene. The world has to start treating Israel the way it treated apartheid in South Africa. Pull out their ambassadors, stop the trade, begin to boycott and impose sanctions on Israel until
Peter,
Israel allows
respond?
for the rebuilding of Gaza, allows for the repatriation of the refugees, and allows for a real solution to this problem, which, like you said, is not going to be the two-state solution because Israel killed it, but a single democracy where Israelis and Palestinians could live free and equal. Until such
Okay,
time,
but
there
the
has to
problem,
be
Mika,
sanctions
I don't know if
imposed
Mika.
upon Israel.
Go ahead, Fred. Go ahead.
Mika, I don't know who you represent. I don't know who you're speaking for. 90% of the Jews of Israel want a Jewish state. They don't want one state that's going to be a binational state. Now, you talk about the word repatriation. I suggest you look at the comments of Noam Chomsky. He's a leftist in the United States that just broke with the BDS movement. He and Norman Finkelstein made it clear. The BDS, the boycott, disinvestment sanctions, is out to destroy Israel. They want repatriation. They make no, as the same comment you make, they make no distinction between Israel and the occupied territories. Take the Technion. You talk about Israeli Arabs.
Neither does Israel.
19% of the Technion
Neither
students
Israel.
are Arab Israelis. It's the top technological university.
Thing everybody's missing is the fact that all of these problem children that are causing problems around the world, everything was peaches and cream until everyone started realizing who's actually doing it, and who's actually doing is the ones running this guy's show. Who he's already off. That's how fast his little Obama's little news conference was. It was less than 7 minutes long. Goodness gracious. What a travesty. What an embarrassing thing. Let's catch just a little bit more of this while we're waiting on the next show to start.
When we will be ready for this. Until then, let the Palestinians live under this brutal, cruel, inhuman, criminal occupation forever.
Mika, one of the things that I found very interesting in watching the story develop in Gaza is Israeli politics itself and the type of right-wing political rhetoric. It's really quite ghastly, and people watching the bombing of Gaza as if it was a sport.
Yes, but you have to remember that the State of Israel was created after a massive terrorist attack that ended up with ethnic cleansing of Palestine. Over 50% of the population of Palestine was forced into exile. So if you compare what's happening today to that, you see there's a continuity. It is the exact same story. It's these genocidal tendencies of a racist colonialist regime against the population of the state. Now, talking about the West. Talking about the West Bank, Israel is the one who blurred the differences between the West Bank and the rest of the country. It wasn't me. So we cannot come and say I make no difference between the West Bank and other parts of the country. Israel completely eliminated that difference when it in effect, integrated the West Bank into the rest of the country. And when you drive up on the highways here, you don't see any difference between the signs that go to cities and colonies in the West Bank and cities and colonies that in other parts of the country. This is a reality that Israel has created. Now, I don't recall the whites in South Africa wanting apartheid to end either and welcoming Nelson Mandela as president, but one day they woke up in the morning and the world said enough, and that was enough, and Nelson Mandela was president, and apartheid fell. Israelis might not want this today, but they are going to wake up inevitably one morning when this is going to be a reality here.
Fred, jump in.
If they don't like it, if they don't like the fact that half the population, if they don't like the fact that half the population is Palestinian, let me just finish one sentence.
Okay, finish your point. Finish your
if
point.
they do not like the fact that over half the population, thank you. If they don't like the fact that over half the population is Arab here, are Palestinian Arabs, then they can go live somewhere else. The reality here, over 50% of the population are Palestinians. They cannot continue to live under this brutal, inhumane regime. Again, whether they live in the Galilee, in the West Bank, in Gaza, or in Jerusalem.
This can go on and on and on. We can go to another country. How's that? Let's go down there and take a look at what's going on in South Africa now, or in Africa. You're going to find the same commonality. I'll find one and show it to you. The common thread is the bankers run by the U.S. Federal Reserve in London City has turned capitalism on steroids, people. They have gone slap crazy. The average individual citizen of Palestine, the average individual citizen of Israel, the average American has absolutely nothing to do with this crap going on that these people running the show is trying to play us like pawns, get every one of the citizens upset at the other citizens so they can bring up the emotion to, let's Johnny get your gun. This is a joke, a travesty of justice, is the travesty of justice that these puppeteers are doing to all these people around the world. That's my take. Well, let's take a look right here. U.S. widens sanctions on Russia over Ukraine. Do you understand what's actually happening here? The bankers here, the puppeteers, are trying their very best to provoke Russia into war so they can light this thing up. Because war and selling war supplies and war everything and clearing out their problem children so that they can come in and steal from the rest of the world. This is, I am pitifully ashamed that we as American citizens can't stop this crap. This is off the hook. This is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. And the world's getting to where they know it. I see now why they have this fellow was ordained to take this position. You don't come from community organizer to running the once free world. Has anybody ever put that together yet? I'll be back. Take a look at this right here. Are you surprised? Top Obama political aide refuses to testify before Congress. Good Lord Almighty. They won't even show up to a U.S. Senate hearing when they have a subpoena. They were subpoenaed last week. They just go above the law, people. This is a fascist society now that we live in. Companies run the governments and bankers run the companies. He won't even show up, this cat right here. Can you believe that? I'll be back later. Well, I just popped over here at 5:02 in the afternoon Central Time to see what's going on and what they're talking about at Truth Frequency Radio. And let's just take a listen here. Just popped in.
Only that unfolded in Dallas on that day, but to understand the cover-up that followed the assassination of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, you really have to understand the historical nature of the situation that confronted John Fitzgerald Kennedy. This was the same situation that confronted Robert Kennedy and Dr. Martin Luther King 5 years later. And if you've listened to any of my previous broadcasts, I feel that this is the same situation that our current president, President Obama, faces as he tries to make his way into a new paradigm change.
Same old thing, people. Same old thing. Let's go over here and check real quick at max resistance, excuse me. Max resistance, and see what there's going on over there. Let's go over to the topics. I would check their chat room. I don't think it's open right now, but Valerie, you have to tell us what time it's open. Roundtable. This is from, I guess, last night. We'll get a little shot of it.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Terry. I'm going to be hosting tonight's roundtable. We are broadcasting live from fprnradio.com. We are on Google+. We have Brian producing for us again tonight on Google+. Tonight we're going to take some call-ins. We'll take the call-ins to area code 567-314-9296, or you can connect through Skype.
Let me move up here forward a little bit on this video. Excuse me just a second. And see if we can move up to about right here and see what they're talking about. Okay.
Snapping together as these unions, you know. The TTIP is like in Britain and the rest of Europe. There's a whole bunch of different plans going around the world like this that have like major groups of countries, and as they start getting together, this will become a worldwide thing, and not just like regional within, you know, like the Pacific Rim or whatnot, but, you know, the whole East and the whole West. And then
right, if they get everybody on board to participate with it, and that's going to be the thing that they're going to have to do. We have a question. Hold on. We got a question that came in from one of our viewers.
Okay, I'm going to hold off there. We're at about 13 minutes. I'm going to try to keep these under 15, so I'll come back later. Alrighty, I'm going to wrap this afternoon report up. I'll be coming back to do a Ramblin' Randy's report later on this evening. You can check your back office there for those members of the Financial Intel team. Anybody that would like to become a member and get these things updated to you daily, we expand on those. I do a late night wrap and sometimes early morning get up and go video to let everyone know what's going on out there in the world, because I know everyone doesn't have time to do this, and so we're doing it for our members. Take a look at what we pay people to get this information out to folks. Just check the Financial Intel Team site. That's financialintelteam.com. Take a look, and look right here. They're going to start pushing this, people, about these illegal aliens arrested for murder. There's going to be a lot of murders that's going to take place, and going to blame it on the Mexicans coming across the border. That's all planned. All this chaos here is absolutely embarrassing to be an exhibition of the state of the upright Homo sapien sapien. I'll see y'all back later this evening. Go out, smile at a stranger, make you feel good. Look for Ramblin' Randy's report late this evening, and be sure to go over to financialintelteam.com. And if you're invited to someone to listen to these things, be sure and check with your inviter before you sign up. If you'd like to sell this, make money, sell our memberships, and you can make a very good living doing that and get the word out to people who need it. Randy, Jedi 1, we down.